Hello and welcome back to the Tournament Center. I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Pro Tour Berlin is over and Luis Scott-Vargas is your champion. $40,000, 25 pro points, and the title of Pro Tour champion gets to precede his name for all time. This is really one of the best players in the game right now, and now he's got the title. He's got the crowning achievement for his career.
Yeah, amazingly, this is the first time that Luis Scott-Vargas is playing on Sunday at a Pro Tour.
Yeah, that's actually surprising. I think
he's so well respected. He's such a great player. It just felt like he'd been there before.
Yeah, no, he was the best player in the game without a top 8, I think, coming into this. U.S. national champion, bunch of Grand Prix, he's been doing great. Now, the story behind him, though, this isn't just LSV. This is really a whole team of players, a super team, if you will. He's been in Berlin for multiple weeks.
Right.
He came here with his buddy Paul Chion. They met up with Olivier Rouel, Antoine Rouel, Guillaume Wafatapa, Guillaume Montignon. Manuel Boucher was really sort of the networker that sort of stitched everybody together.
Guillaume Wafatapa and Guillaume Montignon, I might add, have designed a winning extended deck for a Pro Tour before. They are the deck designers who built Pierre Canali's affinity deck list that won Pro Tour Columbus several years ago.
Yeah, and don't forget it was Manuel B who built the deck that won Valencia with
That's
for
right.
Remy Fortier.
That's right. So this is a team that knows extended.
That was a super team.
Yeah.
So they descend on Berlin, they put their brains together, and they come up with the ELF deck. And that ELF deck, it's got kind of a little bit of dirty combo feel to it. It goes off, but that was the best deck. They weren't the only ones who found it, interestingly.
Sure.
I mean, a bunch of other teams, some teams had Court of Calling a Hive Master. They could go get a Giant Predator Dragon. You know, the Belgians were really happy with Mirror Entity that sort of let the deck go actually infinite.
Right, by making your symbiote an elf.
The symbiote an elf, that's the key.
Essentially.
But it was the grape shot version, the sort of all-in combo, if you will. I mean, the
least played version, I think,
It's
too.
true. I mean, the super team basically said, yeah, we know about all that stuff, but I don't want to muck around with that. Let's just win faster than everybody else.
We can kill
and
their
that's what
Essence
LSV
Wardens.
did.
We can kill through their Hive Master.
It's true.
If they get 3, great.
So quarterfinals, LSV had to play against Kenny Oberg. Oberg had probably the most sort of innovative and exciting deck in the top 8. Based around Tezzeret, the Planeswalker from Shards of Alara. So the Tezzerator was this sort of blue-based control deck, artifact lock deck. Really, really a cool, fun deck.
Very, very exciting deck. A deck I'm certainly going to proxy up on Magic Online and build and play with. I mean, it seemed amazing. It had answers to everything. It was very elegantly built.
Yeah, and he wins game 1. He wins game 2. LSV finds himself down 0-2, but rattles off 3 wins in a row, gets to the semifinals. In what he thought was a bad matchup.
It was a bad matchup.
Through to the semifinals. Who's waiting for in the semifinals? Reigning Player of the Year, Tomohiro Saito.
5-time Pro Tour top 8 competitor,
Absolutely.
Tomohiro Saito.
Saito, playing the Predator Dragon version of the Elf deck, wins a quick game 1, wins a quick game 2. Luis is down 0-2 again, rattles off 3 more, sets up his spot in the finals against Matai Zadokai. Now, Zadokai, you're talking about teams, he was working with 2 other members of the top 8, Martin Juza and Sebastian Thaler. They played each other in the quarters. Thaler won a marathon. Thaler and Zadokai played a marathon in the semis. Okay, Zadokai is through to the finals, but nobody could stop Luis Scott-Vargas. They had awesome sideboard tech. Zadokai had predicted that Elves would be a matchup that mattered. He had these silver bullets in his sideboard. Looked great on paper. Hats off to him, but couldn't stop LSV.
And we came up to LSV after he was done with the award ceremony. He laughed. He said, I guess we know that my deck is faster now.
Yeah.
Because that was the question. Is this deck really faster? And you saw it. I mean, it was just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, 3-0 sweep in the finals.
Yeah.
Very impressive win. So Luis Scott-Vargas is your Pro Tour champion. Pro Tour's in the books. Player of the Year race, and the season now all comes down to the Worlds. We'll be in Memphis. The extended format will be on display in Memphis. Shuhei Nakamura leads that Player of the Year race, but both Saito and LSV made a little bit of progress here. So that should be a fun event. What are you going to remember Berlin for, though? What's the lasting memory?
I would love to remember it for Tezzerator, but I'm going to have to remember Elves. We talked about this during the broadcast. Pro Tour Rome is Pro Tour Academy.
Right.
This is Pro Tour Elves, and Elves are going to have reverberate through extended from now to Worlds.
It's true.
Can people beat it? Is this the only deck?
6 of the top 8 decks being Elves is pretty much unprecedented. All 4 of the semifinals being Elves, pretty much unprecedented. If you look, though, you look a little deeper, there were no elf decks, no other elves in the top 16. The top 16 looks a lot more diverse than the top 8, and even all the elf players are saying, you know what, if people set their mind to it, they can beat us.
If you've done your homework.
Yeah, if you guys knew it was coming, you can beat the elf deck. You just have to prepare for it.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen in Extended. Now, the elf deck is clearly a very relevant player, but it's got a target on its forehead. There's a lot of hate cards out there that can beat it, so we'll find out. We'll find out at Worlds. It's one of the formats there.
What are you going to remember from this event?
I think it's Luis. I really think this is going to be Luis Scott-Vargas as a Pro Tour champion. I mean, this is a guy at the height of his powers really starting to hang the results on the board that match the level of talent everyone's been expecting from him.
Clinging to his Pro Tour by his fingernails, down 2 games.
3 Americans have won all 3 Pro Tours
Yes.
this year, too. This is not the country where people think of as having the height of magic, but, you know, after a bit of a lull, there's a real some really great American players right now.
John Finkel, Charles Gindy, and now Luis
Scott-Vargas
Scott-Vargas with Worlds on the horizon.
All right, so from Berlin, for Brian David-Marshall, this is Randy Buehler. We will see you next time.